You think forced sterilization victims should be compensated. Why?
Well, the state physically invaded the bodies of innocent people against their will in order to take away one of their most fundamental rights, and that's the right to reproduce. It's kind of hard to imagine a more fundamental right, actually. And they did so without any regard for the interests of these people. They did so for the public interest, or in other words, the greater good. These victims had no recourse whatsoever. The legislature passed the law that allowed these atrocities to occur. The executive branch, through what was called the Eugenics Board, kind of implemented the policies. And the courts, which are supposed to protect the rights of the innocent, did the exact opposite. In fact, they were cheering on what was happening.
Now, how should these victims be compensated, and what about some fears that offering compensation could provide ammunition for things such as slavery reparations?
Right. At a minimum, I believe the living victims should be provided some type of financial package. $20,000 has been proposed in current legislation. That's an appropriate amount. That's coincidentally the same amount of money that Congress provided the living victims of the Japanese internment camps. They provided $20,000. So that's a start, certainly. Now, the argument about slavery reparations is actually a good argument. I'm only suggesting that the living victims only should be compensated, not the descendants of those who are the victims. Because it is true that if the descendants are compensated, that does lead down the slippery slope of possibly leading to slavery reparations.
So what lessons should be learned from all of this?
Well, the main lesson isn't simply that you shouldn't forcibly sterilize people. That's pretty obvious. We generally should oppose policies that are justified because of the greater good, and if the rights of individuals are going to be infringed upon.